Rise and grind, gamers. My name is Tetsyumi, and welcome back to some more Disgaea RPG Should You Summon. And today we are taking a look at Awakened Rozalin from the brand new festival banner, the Fiercest Overlord Festival. And it actually kind of sucks because in JP that banner is called like the Badass Festival banner or something along the lines of that, but it just sounds so much cooler than Fiercest Overlord, so I kind of wish they brought that to global too, but I guess it's fine, it's whatever. But like I said, Awakened Rozalin is going to be added to the Fiercest Overlord banner. And if you guys don't know, Tyrant Valvatores is also on that banner, so maybe if you missed pulling him the first time, you can pull him, you know, when Awakened Rozalin comes out, if you want to summon. But we're going to get into all of that later. We, right now, are going to be going over her stats, seeing if she's good, seeing if I think it's worth summoning on her right now, and we're going to go ahead and compare her with Tyrant Valvatores, because, you know, he was the old, not really old, because it was only like a month, like a few weeks ago, really, but he is the last recent festival unit, so we're going to go ahead and compare their stats just to see how they match up to each other. So let's just go right into it. Awakened Rozalin is a humanoid gun forte wielder. Her stats are actually pretty damn good. I think, actually, I'm going to show this a bit more later, but this is really cool. It's a thing I found on that that database that Meow like made that I talked about in the last Should You Summon episode. But basically, like, it averages all their stats here, and you can see, like, the JP tier of what they are, and as you can see, she is at the very top. Like, this goes all the way down to, like, 2, and she is right the way up to the top. Her average stats are 4.85. Which is great, and if you guys are curious what Tyrant Valvatores is, he is right down here. His stats are 4.81. So, you know, overall, technically, Awakened Rosalin's stats are better, but we're gonna get, you know, go ahead and look into it in a bit more detail right now. But anyway, her HP is 123, which goes up to 63 million, at least I think it's million, again, 1, 2, 3, 1, yep, 60, or 36, not 63, 36 million, compared to Tyrant Valvatores. He has a bit more, he has 140 HP, but what Awakened Rozalin lacks in health, she makes up for. And okay, not in attack, because she has actually 2 less attack points than Tyrant Valvatores too. But overall, it's really not making a difference at all. They still both have 12 million attack. I think, what, Valvatores just has 3 million more, and she has, like, actually, she just has, like, 300 less. So really, that matters, like, this does not matter at all. Anyway, her defense is looking at 32, her intelligence is 41, and her resistance is 34. Comparing that to Tyrant Valvatores, she has a bit lower defense, higher intelligence, and higher resistance. Just higher resistance by 1 point, though. And then looking at her speed, she has a 56, which is pretty high. Valvatores only had a 51. 56, she is almost definitely going to be at the top, like the first attacker in your team, especially if you put speed boots on her, too. Going into her attributes, she has 25% to fire, 50% to water, 25% to wind, and 0% to star, which you love to see. No negative attributes. Perfect. Her resistances, just like always, all 40%, all the time. Literally always. They are always 40%. When are they going to introduce a character that has different resistances? Like, that's... oh my god. But anyway, her weapon mastery is, of course, her gun. Her forte is her gun, so she has a perfect 10 in that. But after that, she has a 9 in staff, or magic, I think that is, and a 6 in bow. So, you know, if you want to put her in with a, you know, magic weapon just to get that mastery up, you can go ahead and do that. She has pretty high affinity towards that weapon, too. Going into her abilities, she has her main ability, Calamitous Karma. Gun-wielding allies, all stats except speed, plus 15%. Pretty good, although I wish it was kind of more of an encompassing one, you know, but then again, gun-wielding allies, that is still pretty good. That does include her at the very least, so she's giving herself a bit of a stat buff, as well as any other gun allies on your team. At any one, she gets Force of Calamity. All allies, initial SP plus 15 when a battle begins. So that's pretty good. That's really only a one-time thing, though, but that could be good if you're trying to, like, farm out some stages. Maybe you're having a hard time just getting to the boss. You want to maybe save the rest of your SP. You get a nice 15 bonus right when you start the battle, so maybe you can you know, do that big AoE move, just get you past that first initial wave. At any 5, she has Disturbed Slumber. Self. When equipped with a gun, her damage dealt is plus 50%, and that is actually huge. Also, by the way, I don't know if I said this before, but I have not actually looked at any of her stuff prior to doing this video, so all this is also new to me, but this sounds amazing. If you can actually get her to NE plus 5, which might be worth it if you look at this, then this pretty big, because you're probably going to have a gun on her because gun is her forte, and that's just going to make her deal 50% more damage. That sounds pretty big. And then at NE plus 7, she gets celerity, being all enemies attack, defense, intelligence, and resistance minus 10%. Wow, that is huge. It is NE plus 7, so it's going to be hard to get her there, but that's pretty big. Attack, defense, intelligence, and resistance minus 10%. You know, that's like, I would have just thought that attack and defense would be pretty huge on that, but also intelligence and resistance, that is going to make you do a ton more damage, especially when you combine that with doing 50 more damage because you just have a gun, and then another plus 15% too. That is going to be pretty big. Going into her skills, she has Rose Thorns Plus, which goes from E to E+, Beautiful Flowers, Dance in a Violent Storm, Speed plus 5%. So this is going to be an attack, and then it's also going to give her a little bit of a buff in speed, giving her, again, plus 5% speed. This is going to be based on the wind element and going from the attack stat. So the higher attack you have, the more damage this is going to do. At level 50, she gets Rose Crest Plus, going from A to A+, which is an A on your second level, your 50 level skill. That's pretty good. That's big damage. This is a single attack. The sleeping power eliminates enemies while scattering countless petals. That sounds beautiful right there. So that is going to be a single target attack, and it also lowers the enemy's defense by 13%. Again, that is wind based on the attack stat. At level 200, she gets this Mortal Liberty, not Libre. I don't even know how I thought of that, but Mortal Liberty. This doesn't actually have a power, but what this is this itself looks like a heal. So what this does is action gauge plus 500. So what this is going to do, guys, this is going to make her basically just shoot up in speed. She is going to go way faster than she was before. And then it's also giving her an attack. Is that attack and intelligence? Attack and intelligence plus 85 to 100% for one turn. So you put this on yourself, you're giving yourself attack and intelligence plus up to 100% for your next turn. So you can do a giant hit at the end of that. And also, I want to go ahead and check, because I know attack, all of these are based off the attack stat. Are any based off her intelligence? Yes, looks like all of these ones down here are when you get to her magic spells. So, you know, if you want to go ahead and pair this move up with one of these skills down here, then she could potentially do huge damage. Then going into her NE3 skill, she gets this Karma Liberty, C2C plus, 90 to 85 SP, and this is an AoE and a party buff, again, wind element attack stat. The awakening power becomes a disaster and stains the earth with blood. So this is an AoE attack, and then gives your party attack plus 30% and intelligence plus 30%. That is sick. Already, this character is looking super good in my opinion, because it's just the same thing with every other character. You look at the tier list, right? I think all these people are so high because they're giving effects when they attack, especially these two characters, who someone actually said I might want to put into S tier, and honestly I kind of agree with them. I want to do a little bit more looking at their characters first, but I mean I'll talk about that all later, because this is not their showcase. But I just think having an effect along with your attack makes a character so much more viable than just having a status effect or just having an attack. So I already really like this character just from her having these really good skills. So already she's pretty high in my opinion. Moving on to her magic spells though, at Mastery 4 she gets Wind, E to E+, just a regular single target attack based on the wind stat, it's a wind element attack based on the intelligence stat. At Mastery 9 she gets this Armor Break, which is a single target attack, looks like it just lowers the defense of an enemy by 20 to 35%. At 15 she gets Mega Wind, F to F+, this is an AoE attack, wind element based on the intelligence stat, so just a pretty basic AoE attack if you don't want to use this one up here, or I guess if you don't have it because it's a NE plus 3. Then at 22 she gets this Mega Armor Break, which is the same thing as Armor Break, this time lowers the defense by 40 to 55%. And then at 30 she gets Gigawind, which is another AoE attack of this wind up here, probably does a bit more damage, goes from F+ to E, and 45 SP, wind attribute, intelligence stat. Moving on to her Nether Enhancements, she has the good enhancements because she is a festival character, so she gets the parameters plus 40% over here, instead of just having it be the normal plus 30. So yeah, other than that, it was just normal sub-ability, 40, unique skill, plus 10, sub-ability, 40, sub-ability, and then it's just parameter increase. So the basic stuff, you're getting that along with being able to get her other attacks and obviously her other abilities. So let's go ahead and actually directly compare their stats to Tyrant Velvetores, and we can go ahead and do that right down here because I think it'll be easier. So we are again looking at this Awakened Rozalin right here and this Tyrant Velvetores right here. So as we can see, Tyrant Velvetores has a decent, a big amount of health compared to Awakened Rozalin. And looking at the, attack stat, it does look pretty different, although we've seen in here, it actually doesn't really make a difference at all. Like, this is 12 million, this is 12 million. The only difference is, like, I think 300. It was 300, right? Yeah, the only difference is literally 300. So that, honestly, just does not matter at all. Actually, I think this is, you know what, this might be just a bit off, because this says 49. And this over here says 44, so I think they probably maybe buffed him on the JP version, but at least on the global version for now, their stats are still pretty similar. So I think actually just going off that, we can go ahead and just look at their stats on this global wiki here. Honestly, they're pretty similar, all opposed from the speed. Obviously, Awakened Rozalin has a lot better speed than Tyrant Velvetores. Velvetores only has 51, Rozalin has a 56, which is pretty huge. Looking at, Tyrant Velvetores' like skills, again, he doesn't really do super insane stuff. I mean, he's good. He's definitely good. Don't get me wrong. But like, he only has really like these basic skills, like 2 pretty much. Awakened Velvetores, she has at least 3 before getting into her NE. So already, she has a bit of an advantage there. Also, she's doing status effects on all of her skills. She's doing increasing her speed, lowering the enemy's defense, giving herself 500 action gauge, as well as giving an attack and intelligence boost to herself. Velvetores is only doing like a medium healing and then only giving himself actually less action gauge, so I don't really know what the point of this even is. This might, oh no, this is AoE, so I think this is an AoE nerf on the enemy team, so he's lowering the enemy's action gauge. So, this isn't bad. I would say it's probably almost similar to this, because instead of, just giving a tired Rozalin her speed higher, it's lowering the enemy speed, so I would say those about even out. But even then, looking at like all of these skills, these aren't really doing much. It's just, regular attacks, all that stuff. But Awakened Rozalin, she has the same stuff, but instead she's lowering the defense by like 20 to 55%. Instead, Velvetores is raising his own attack, or anyone's attack on the team, by 20 to 55%. So it's kind of just what you want. I can't speak. Velvetores seems more to me still like the tank, like the damage dealer. Awakened Rozalin, she does seem like a tank and damage dealer, but at the same time, she's also, she's buffing herself, she's giving defense to herself, so she's, I feel like, maybe a bit more well-rounded, seeing as how their attack stat is already pretty similar, and she is still giving herself a large amount of buffs, especially in the attack department. So, looking actually on the tier list, where am I gonna place her? It's not even a question, dude. She's going in God tier. She is going in God tier. I mean, it even says, like, on this thing, in the JP, she is SS tier. That is the highest tier that this guy gives these characters for JP. She is the JP SS tier. I mean, look at her. Her stats are basically the highest stats in the game. This pretty, like, X guy, he has somehow just insane stats. I don't even know. Like, that's kind of crazy. But, like, Velvetores, or not, sorry, Rozalin. Rozalin is amazing. I would say she is just about as amazing as Velvetores too. Now, should you summon on this banner? This is actually a bit of a tricky question, because normally I would say absolutely yes, she's an amazing unit, go summon on the banner. However, I figured out, and also it says it right here actually, but I figured out that this banner actually, comes back monthly. And what that means is every time it comes back, there's going to be a new character on the banner, as well as these other characters that have already been on the banner. So basically what'll happen is, actually I can pull it up on my phone too. I won't show you the screenshot just because it'll take a lot of work and I don't really want to. But it says right here, yeah, it says right here, and of course Tyrant Velvetores featured in the previous event will be available too. So what that means is, these are the badass characters from the Badass Festival. all the badass festival characters that come back monthly, because it's a monthly reoccurring banner, are going to be in the banner for next time you summon. So here's what I'm going to say. If you really want Awakened Rozalin, 100% go for it. I do not think you are wasting your gems summoning, because I honestly think she is still an amazing unit. This is what I'm going to say though. I'm going to say it's honestly 50-50, because at this point in the game, it might be a good idea to summon for her, just because, you know, you'll have a higher chance of getting her than getting like any other festival character that's going to be on the banner, because I think they are going to have a bit higher rates because it's, you know, they're the festival characters. So on their banner, you know, basically the more of them they add to the banner, the less chance you're actually going to get to pull her when you're pulling for another character. With that being said though, if another really good character were to come out on this banner, it might be worth it to save for them, and then Awakened Rozalin could just be a bonus while you're summoning, and then you just happen to get her. Because, like I said, she's gonna have increased rates along with Tyrant Velvetores on the banner. So no matter what, you still have a decent chance of pulling her. It's just gonna get a bit harder and harder each time they add a new character, because that's another character with high rates that you could possibly pull instead of her. So, with that being said, I know I'm saying that a lot, but I think, again, if you want her, god tier character. She's a god tier character. Also, I forgot to do the what's it called? What is it called? The presentation mode. I can't believe I forgot that already. Again, I mean, but yeah. So, god tier character. She is amazing. But here's what I would recommend if you actually want to do this. If not, just go ahead and summon, and everything will be cool. That might be what I do, but I'm gonna wait and see. Here's what I'm gonna say. If you want, if you're kind of nervous, if you're kind of 50-50 on it, then I would say wait a day or two, see what other Disgaea YouTubers have to say about it. Maybe look at the JP side of Disgaea, look at the JP Badass Festival banner, because that's the banner we're talking about. See if there are any other really, really good characters that you would rather save for and summon for them. Because I think how they do it is when they announce a new character, they're going to have slightly higher rates, so you might have a better shot, you know, at pulling a better character later on. Or if you just really want her right now, you can go ahead and summon now, and you'll probably get her, because I'm pretty sure there is a pity system with the festival banners. That's all I'm gonna say. That is my advice. You know, if you want to wait a few days, see what other YouTubers think, see what other JP YouTubers think about this, about the banner in general, I would recommend that. If not, I don't think you can go wrong with summoning for her, because again, you know, god tier unit, she is still amazing, as well as Tyrant Velvetores, so if you can pull him too, then that'd be a good bonus. But yeah guys, this video is getting kind of long. That's all I wanted to say. Tyrant Velvetores, Awakened Rozalin, she is out. She is an amazing unit. If you want to summon, go for it. If you want to wait, go for it. Either way, I think, you know, I think you can figure out the decision from here. But yeah guys, that is going to be it. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you liked it. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of Awakened Rozalin. Did I put her on the tier list correctly? Are you gonna summon? Do you think other people should summon? Do you think I'm very handsome and a good YouTuber? Probably, but let me know. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Like I said, peace.